Today we're going to talk about the McRib, and also a lot of cars are going to pass me by and make really loud noises, but today we're going to talk about the McRib. We're not necessarily going to eat it. We're going to talk about it and how it's pretty much become a joke. It went from being basically the fast food item that everybody kind of anticipated, you know, a holiday tradition comes around once a year, November, December, everybody gets it. It's kind of a Christmas thing, at least for me. That's how it was for many years. That's how it was when I grew up. I'm pretty sure that's how it started. I don't actually know how it started exactly. I don't think I was alive, or at least, you know, understood the world enough to really know that. But since I was a kid, the McRib has been, hey, they come out once a year, you get them, it's a great thing. Everybody loves the McRib. McDonald's, in their great wisdom, has ruined it, as they have ruined a lot of things. Thank you for the motorcycle. As they've ruined a lot of things over the years by completely, I guess, neglecting them, but more like exploiting them without any sort of look to the future. And that's the problem across the whole world, basically. I feel like I'm not necessarily hitting on a point that hasn't been hit on for literally every company on earth, every corporation on earth. We all know that they're bad. We all know that big companies are a bad thing. And it's just been more and more blatant as time has gone on, and in the world we live in now, which is almost like a joke, it's just more obvious. And it becomes more obvious with the McRib, especially this year after what they did last year. Now, if you don't remember, last year they said it's the end of the McRib. This is the last year we're going to do the McRib, at least for a while. That was the implication. Farewell tour. That was what they called it, the farewell tour for the McRib. And they made that their whole marketing shtick, and they didn't even wait a year. Like, I would give them the benefit of the doubt if they skipped a year at least, but they didn't even wait. They didn't even skip a year in their process where the McRib comes out every year. They still did exactly the same thing after having marketed it as being the last year of the McRib, which means there's some smell of desperation there. And I'm just not sure where exactly it's coming from. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess I understand that it's pure greed is where it's coming from. And that goes back to my point. It just feels more blatant. It feels like the pure greed is just a little bit more blatant this year, and, you know, as years have gone on in my life. Or maybe it's just because I've gotten older that I'm just more cynical. But the McRib, it's just been mismanaged, in my opinion. Again, I'm not a marketer. I don't know McDonald's numbers. I don't know how much money they make. I don't know how much a McRib costs. This is just going to be based on my feelings. And I feel like it is important to put these kind of videos out there, even though the chances of anybody at all watching this is pretty much zero. Like, I don't know if anybody's actually going to be watching me talking right now. The amount of views on this video, I'm sure, is going to be low. And how many of those views are actual real people? Probably not that many. Is anybody that works in a position at McDonald's where it will matter going to watch this? The chances of that are very slim, but I still feel like I have to do it. And I want other people, if anybody does get this message, you know, to echo me, because that's all we really have, you know, as consumers in the society we live in now. This is all we really have, honestly, is the ability to bitch and moan. And we have to start doing it more and more. I know people complain about a lot of things, you know, but I feel like in some senses, even though it's not important, you know, fast food, how important is it really? You have to go out there, and even though it's not, it's hard to say this in a cohesive way, but I feel like it's almost the duty of somebody like me or anybody else who eats a lot of fast food and likes fast food and likes the new things that come out and likes the industry, you know, is a fan of the concept of fast food, which is weird in another way, but whatever. It's up to people like us to at least echo, to at least bring things up. Because otherwise nothing will ever change. And that's always been a fact since the beginning of time. And these days, this is really the option we have, because social media and the internet really sucks. But one thing it's given us is the ability to unite when we have, you know, a goal. We can unite on the internet to push it. Now, obviously, we can't unite on a lot of things, but I think we can unite on McRib. That's my hope. Can we unite as a people on the McRib and say, fuck McDonald's for the way that they've been handling it, specifically price-wise. That's where it really pisses me off. The McRib, you know, after that whole debacle last year, I was already kind of annoyed because the McRib has been going up and up and up in price every year for many years, and they've stopped doing promotions. And that's another thing that McDonald's, they really put on an air that they're kind of like above everybody else, but their promotions are the worst on, you know, in the whole game. I don't understand how it happens that McDonald's, you know, the #1 company, the old head, it's just like Coca-Cola. They don't seem to understand why people go to McDonald's, and they don't seem to understand the point of their product. They just keep pushing it like, you know, it's the 90s or the 80s. And they have no clue how the modern world works, and they try stupid shit like the celebrity meals that nobody cares about, and internet collabs that nobody gives a shit about, like, and then they do things that people might want, like the adult Happy Meal, but they fuck it up anyway. It's just amazing. It's astonishing that McDonald's continues to go, and it's just the strength of the brand. It's the strength of, you know, watch McMillions or whatever. Not McMillions. What's the one where it shows, you know, the origin story of McDonald's? Watch that. It's those people, even though, you know, bad people, you know, technically, that's the whole point of the documentary. Take what you will. But it's those founders of McDonald's and the people that worked it up through like the 60s, 70s, and 80s that really seem to know what they were doing. And since the 90s, 2000s, you know, they tried. And in the last 10, 15 years, it feels like they've just given up. Maybe that's just me, but it really feels like McDonald's just doesn't know what to do. And it comes back with the McRib. And it's out now. I haven't really seen any advertising about it. They just kind of quietly brought it back in November. Great. The price is $4.69 here in Texas, which, if anybody's watching this, I need you to understand that where I live, the minimum wage is still $7.25. It has not gone up. A lot of these fast food places, you know, they only pay like $8 an hour if you're lucky. And it's a terrible place. Terrible, you know, terrible for anybody who wants to work. But the point is that they're charging $4.69 for a McRib. And when you think about, when you go through your head and you think about the fact that somebody's going to have to work for 40 minutes at McDonald's to afford a McRib. You know what I'm saying? Like, an hour of work is not even 2 McRibs. That's the way we're going to work. And I understand the pricing strategy of pricing things high when there is, you know, some kind of promotion with it. You know, some other companies seem to still understand this exists. KFC right now, they got the chicken wraps. They're 2 for $5. Now, 2 for $5 isn't necessarily my favorite price, but it's an understandable price. It makes sense. In 2023, I see 2 for $5, and I say, I guess, you know, that's the reality we live in. That's an okay deal in 2023. It wouldn't have been an okay deal a couple years ago. It is now. But $4.69 for one McRib is not okay. And there is no promotions around it at all. There's no 2 for $6, not even a 2 for $7, not even a 2 for $8. I mean, come on, give me something. It's ridiculous that this is how the McRib gets rolled out quietly, at an expensive price, where pretty much, you know, there has to be a limit. I'm wondering where people's limits are. That's the effect of this video. That's really what I want to know. Where is the limit of a McRib? Because I still bought one. I bought one right now for $4.69, but the main reason I bought it is to complain about it on this video, just to visually have it. That's it. Like, I'm not going to get another McRib this year, this season. I'm done. Unless there's some kind of deal that comes out later, unless they somehow, you know, get their head out of their ass and put out a deal for it, or even use the app. There's no rewards for the McRib. There's no deals for the McRib. I mean, imagine how much good, you know, if they just said, hey, you can get a McRib 2 for $6 or 2 for $7 on the app, you know, then they could draw people to the app and also sell the McRib, but they're not going to do that. Instead, the McRib is marched out. It's, you know, it's sad. It's like an old man. They march out this old man McRib, charge too much money, and then it disappears again. And we'll see it next year, I'm sure. But it's just sad. I mean, honestly, McDonald's, I don't know what to do with them. Sweet and spicy jam was great, but you guys have just continued to have the worst possible promotions, lack of coupons. I mean, the only good thing that's come out of McDonald's was the app. But since COVID, the app has sucked too. The deals on the app are nowhere near as good as they used to be. I guess that was, you know, bound to happen, because the whole point of the app is to, you know, get your information, bypass the employees. It lets them save money on labor. It lets them get your information to market directly to you. And those coupons are really just there to get you into the habit of using the app so that, you know, eventually you use the app without coupons and it saves them money and you have to put in the effort. So that's the whole point. It's a mind trick. I get it. But the benefit of the apps and the benefit of the apps still are the coupons, because it's the only way to really get good deals sometimes. And it, you know, it's a sad reality, but McDonald's doesn't even embrace that. Their deals are not what they used to be. They're crap. I look at the McDonald's app sometimes, you know, I get in the mood for McDonald's. I look at the app to see what deals there are, and the deals are so bad that I'm just like, you know, fuck it. I'm not going to even go to McDonald's because there's nothing, you know, there's nothing there for me. And it's sad. So this is a rambling 31-year-old man talking about his history and annoyance with McDonald's and the McRib. But hopefully that was something for somebody, and I will see you all next time.